what I find is that a lot of the people that did go through school, which I think that there's some huge benefits to going to certain schools, like the network and the people that you meet there, and you can learn a lot of things, right? I think, so I'm not going to take anything away from that side of the education system, but also you go out into the real world and learn business, you learn about life a lot quicker. And you learn that, look, things ain't always going to go good for you. You're going to fail, and it don't feel very good when you do fail. And I think the earlier do you learn how to fail and you understand failure, and I think the better, in my opinion, because especially now in the world we live in now, I got kids in their school now. We had a meeting a few weeks ago, and they said that they can't fail tests until I think 11 years old or 12 years old. So they don't tell them they failed, but they'll just work on the stuff that they didn't get right. And for me, I'm like, no, if they failed, they failed. They need to understand that you're going to get stuff wrong. It's okay to fail. Why we shouldn't be protecting and cushioning everything. I think the world's just gone soft.
Was that the soft mentality? Was that forbidden in a way by your parents? And was that, I say, a reflection upon the way you was brought up? Because it certainly was with me.
Yeah. So probably not my mum. I think that you could say mum may have been too soft. But my dad, there was, when you have to go on like this study leave, when you get to I was like, yes. I was like, going out every day. My dad was like, nah, you got to do the school hours, studying. And I'm like, what? Nah, all my friends are going out. Nah, you got. So, and I used to like pull up something else on the computer, or I'd be like doing something else. But yeah, like he was very different. Like if I woke up and I was like, I don't feel like going to school today, I've got a headache, my mum would be like, oh, it's okay. And he'd be like, no, you're going to school. I could have like tonsillitis, you're going to school. And I think that it just shows you a form of, you start to learn a form of discipline that you don't understand, that is impacting you there and then. And I think it didn't done me good,
Oh, well, it clearly has. And I think you've touched on a few things there: failure, network. I mean, how important do you think the network is, obviously, around yourself now, for people to have a network around them?
Massive. I know some people like to underrate networking, and I think that it depends on networking. But yeah, you can say that some of like the property meets, for instance. Oh, why do you go to these property meets? And but I think there's different levels, right? And when you first start going to them, you meet good people, and you're still learning, so you're absorbing a lot of information. And then when you feel that you've absorbed enough information in that room, you want to go and network in another room. But it's never ending. If you speak to almost every successful person, they've got a great network of people. And we can't do all this on our own. People, when you first like start entrepreneurship or whatever, you get really egotistical, as in like you're in this like massive growth phase of like learning new things, and you start to get a bit ignorant in your not everyone, but you can get really ignorant in your personality. Ego gets big, and you start to tell people, you want to tell everyone all the stuff that you're learning, and you feel that, oh, I know something that people don't, and you do. But I think that when you start to understand like there's more to this, and there's more to learn, I don't know, I think it just, network opens up everything. And I think you start to realize that you have to remain a student of life, and don't let your ego get on top of you, because you can't do this alone. You need advisors. The biggest people in the world have advisors, right? Elon Musk will walk into a room and he's got a team of advisors on the table saying, like, we need to do this on this element of the business, this on this. He's an ideas person, right? Now, he's obviously a driver mentality, but he's an ideas person. And I think that the quicker we learn that we can't do this alone, and you do need people around you, and it's okay to ask for help, I think you'll start to see massive growth. Because I was one of those people that felt that I didn't need no help at all. I don't need no help when I was younger. I can do this on my own.
That's interesting. I was just about to ask that. Did you struggle to ask for help
when I was younger? Yeah. I just didn't want. I wanted this. I had this stupid egotistical thought of, I want to be self-made.
Yeah.
And you can still be self-made with help. But I was like, no, I'm self-made. I'm doing all this on my own. So, like, I would start a business, earn some money, reinvest it into something else, and I just build my own cash pot. And I wouldn't want no investment, no advice. and I just learned the hard way. And of course, you naturally build business acumen by learning the hard way, because you're doing everything wrong. So you learn how not to do everything. And
100% agree with that. I mean, I've done that. I'm
yeah,
100% guilty of that. I've acquired a business by doing exactly that,
mm,
and it absolutely failed, categorically failed. And I'm sure we'll come on to failure in a minute. Not just in business, but in family life. I've done the same. We will come on to that in a minute. But is there a right way of networking? Because people say speed networking, or go around and collect as many cards as you can. I mean, to me, building my own opinion is you've got to build the relationship up. It's not a case of just walking in a room, getting to know everyone. You've got to build a relationship over time. It's not a quick fix.
yeah. So the 7-step framework was mainly, it was a few things that I put together over a long period of time, and it was mainly how most of us, we either focus on one thing or the other, right? And I think that there's this, specialize before you generalize, but there's different steps, I think. And first thing that most people overlook, they either spend too much time on it or they overlook it, is mindset. And this took me a while to like understand other people on this, because I was quite like a naturally driven person. Like I feel like my mindset, as in I need to win, it's just been like it from young. So where some people, you need to build on the mindset. The mindset's like 95% of the entire thing, because you need to believe that it's going to happen. Otherwise, you're already up against you're uphill battle straight away.
Yeah.
So the framework was like optimize performance and cash flow, but performance first. So first and foremost is the one thing on the framework is the filter, and is how you need to, it's like a high level filter that you need to be in control of what goes into your filter. We all have a filter, right? And our filter is, what do we expose ourselves to every single day? Now, for me, I used to allow anyone to take time from me in the day, right? And there's only so much time in the day, and there's only so much you can get done. So I would not go to a certain gym. I put my phone on do not disturb, because I know that I can't be. You can obviously on like an iPhone, probably on Android too. You can set your phone where only certain people can call you. So I would set it to one person, but the person that, if anyone else needs to talk to me, if it's important, they can contact that person. They can speak to me, because I know I need to get stuff done. So in the filter, first and foremost, social media, it needs to go in there. You need to be able to optimize your social media, not spend all day scrolling on there. You know, be in control of it, because we're in control of what we see, right? Everything that we do. Two, your friends need to go in there. Your family need to go in there. Everyone does, because people will take time from you, and if you don't filter stuff out, and your core focus at the bottom of the filter is one thing, and everything going in the top of the filter, everything not going in the top of the filter, and it's just coming down and taking time from you, then you're just working against yourself. So everything that you feel may be a distraction needs to go in there. And this sounds so cutthroat when you say put your family and friends in there, but I'm not saying don't speak to family and friends. I'm saying that if you have a core focus and you want to get something done, people underestimate what it takes to be truly successful in something. Nothing's easy, and no matter how many get rich quick like schemes and strategies that people dress up and tell you all these things, nothing is going to come easy. Like it just does. That's not how life works, unfortunately. And even when you think you're getting somewhere, something happens, and then you go and adapt and adjust. So I think the filter's number one. The ABC column is just a way of like prioritizing your tasks. So you have your ABC column. In column A is like your high focus tasks. Shouldn't really be more, well, for myself, 3 to say 6 max per day, but ideally 3. They're the stuff that only you can do, mainly like strategy or stuff that just requires yourself. B is stuff that is less important than A, but potentially could be outsourced. And then C needs to just be all your outsourced stuff. Now, when I first started this, A was just huge, because I thought that, oh, no one can do any of this, only I can do it. And then after a while, you start to realize that that's just so unproductive. I was just putting stuff in A because I thought only I could do it. And unfortunately, again, that's where your ego comes in. You realize that almost there's so many things that people are better than you at. And, the quicker you learn that you are not the best at everything, the better.
Yeah.
And then so your C column should be huge and your A column should be tiny. And then there should be a few things that may fall into B. So it's just mainly getting all that focused and organized first. And then if you can operate where you are organized and your time management's good, then you can focus on the things that actually give you income. And you know, like, of course, I'm a big believer in taking action. So I like a lot of people, a lot of people forget to take action while planning. You have to take action. So people get very good at planning. So I don't want to overdo the, oh, you need to be super organized, because you actually need to just do stuff. And if you're not a naturally organized person and you're a bit of an organized chaos individual, but you get someone to be organized for you if you don't want to do all that, and just crack on and take action, because people do, they forget to do it. They're like, you know, an example I used before was a good friend of mine showed me is a business plan, and it was such a detailed business plan, right? It was, I think it was like 25, 26 pages. It was huge. He had all the facts, all the statistics of, for his, what he wanted to create, the footfall, how much percentage of the footfall he needed, what's the likelihood. It was so much detail, right? And I was like, wow, this is like super detailed, really analytical. And I was like, so when you're getting started? He's like,
I just had to say, you're already going bang.
yeah,
Shoot,
yeah. I was like, when you getting started? This is a pretty good idea. And he's like, oh, I just need to, there's a few more things I need to add to this. And I was like, no, that's, you need to just do it. Like, there's only so much planning you can do. You need to
Yeah.
pull the trigger and take action. And it's easy to say to somebody, oh, I'm working on this. I'm working on this. And next week, the week after, oh, I'll do it next year. You just got to do it. And if you fail and you run into a brick wall, you'll learn how to get around it or climb over it. It's just, it is what it is. People are going to make mistakes.
I suppose that's the third phase, which is procrastination.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, procrastination is, but we all do it. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
You know, like, even when you think that you got it dialed, you don't. Like, we all do it, whether it's on your phone, whether it's like, oh, I'm just going to go for a quick walk, I need to clean my head. We all procrastinate.